Hello, everyone. This is our first Facebook live stream on our Zen Project 8 Facebook page. So this is exciting. This is our normal 10 p.m. building and sharing with ZP8 and really helping you cutting edge information every single week, help you take your business to the next level. So I'm Mark McDonald. I'm the Zen brand ambassador for Zen Project 8, but we got our buddy, amazing health pro, amazing mom, wife, and just all around incredible expert, Renita Rowe-Brandon. What's up, Renita?
Oh, Mark, I'm so excited. I know you've been just chomping at the bit to do this Facebook Live. So I'm so happy for you, Mark.
Yes, and we're live now. So what's cool is you can ask questions. So we're going to simply this is the first time we've done live streaming from this page. So it's awesome. And if this is going to be now, you can share from it. And our goal tonight is to every single Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time, Renita and I are giving you cutting edge information, not just for your Zen business and your Janess business, but overall just to make you better at, as you want to share a message, how to do that. And we'll be able to now with this, I'll do some Q&A. We'll do Q&A after. So we're going to do about 15, 20 minutes of content. If you have comments, share something, give feedback, and then we'll open up for some open question and answers. And this is going to be our new format. So Renita, are you excited? Let's dive on in.
I'm super excited. When I look at your backdrop, though, I'm like, I got to get something better than stuff. Because you got it all nice, Mark. I got to get white.
I don't know. You got so much flavor to you. So it's good.
I'm going to upgrade.
So if you're just watching this, I want to show a great community to be part of. So we had our Zen Project 8 community launched about a year ago. And it was launched in Las Vegas, United States. And we have a massive international movement. We launched Europe in 4 days in Amsterdam. Right then we then go to Chile on May 6th. Follow that by a European tour. We launch in Kyiv. We launch in Russia. We then launch in South Africa. And then we're going to go on an Australia, New Zealand tour, which we just launched a few weeks ago. So our movement grows stronger and stronger by the day. Now, as you can see, we just broke the 16,000 members of a closed community. So remember, closed communities are invite-only communities. So it's not like anyone can join. It's people who are living it and rocking it. And that grows systematically every single day and week. So if you want to be part of this community, if you want to learn more about Zen Project 8, simply go to facebook.com/group/Zen Project 8. It will take you. You can then see the recipes and the phase guides and get a feel of the community. If you're living ZP8 and you're not part of this community, you got to join it. Ask all questions, because anything as you're doing it, our goal is simple, to help you live your best health and take you from where you are to where you want to go and teach you how to make it work for you, your friends, and your family. Right, Renita?
Right. I'm just thinking to myself, Mark, I'm so excited about that 16,000 mark, and it's just going to grow exponentially even bigger in the next couple of weeks with all these launches. And I actually remember, Mark McDonald, talking to you about 3 years ago, and we talked about, can you imagine when the PFC every 3 and this Zen message is going to be global? I just remember having conversations imagine when it's just not in the US and it's everywhere and they're all talking about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's so happening. It's crazy. Be careful what you wish for, because it ends up happening, right?
Exactly. And that's the power of it. And our movement is just getting going. And we were just talking about the global outreach. And everyone who's joining us live now, just remember, I'm on my Facebook page here. And where you normally do this on hangouts.zenproject8.com. So this is the new platform. Every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be right here. Now, one more thing I want to share. If you're new to this page, because many people that are watching this, they might be watching it for the first time. You want to go to our YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to share that with you right here. And our YouTube channel is Zen Project 8, is youtube.com/Zen Project 8. And there's a video right here, the Zen Project Nutrition and Fitness Movement. It's a video. It's 5 minutes and 40 seconds. It is just powerful. It shows you everything that's about. And that playlist also shows you all about our cutting edge product line, our Zen Fuse Powerhouse Shake, one of the greatest shakes that we've had the opportunity to be part of. Zen Prime, which is our detox product. Zen Shape, which is our metabolism booster. And Zen Fit, which is our muscle protector and builder. So you can check out more about everything. Go to the YouTube channel, check out the closed group community. And every Monday night at 10 p.m., if you want to share and build, you'll be part of this.
Yeah, Mark, I think that's so powerful because I think people that are just starting, like I have huge teams starting across the US right now, and they're just plugging in now, and we've got such great content already created, such great information for people to tap into. So I think people understanding that they can go to that YouTube channel and go there and watch all of that stuff at any time. It's going to totally up the game and up your knowledge base of what you're talking about and increase your belief in what you have going on here, because it is super powerful.
100%. I love it, Renita, because it's not about dieting. We're ending the dieting madness and we're teaching people how to live their best health. And also when you go to that Facebook page, just know every Monday night, we just did this. We did a 9 p.m. Facebook Live in this group, and the whole thing was how to eat in restaurants. So we want to empower people to live their best health and actually make it realistic. So it's an 8-week plan. You detox, you ignite, you thrive, and then you're going to eat the foods that you love in the right balance. You balance your blood sugar and balance your hormones, help balance your hormones, and then you implement the Zen Fuse shake to fill your nutritional gaps as well as the other Zen product line. So dive into that. But tonight, Renita, it's all about the 3 top marketing strategies. And I know you're a marketing guru. So when we're talking about what we're going to do, I know you're excited for this. So, give me before I dive in, we have a great slide deck prepared tonight. Kind of share with me just your definition of marketing.
That's interesting. I always say I went to the Holy Spirit School of Marketing because I don't have a degree in marketing, but I certainly love it. And I think marketing for me is just expressing what I'm passionate about. And it comes very natural because I feel like some people say, you're really good at sales. Well, I can't sell something I don't believe in. So I'm never going to be on here talking about beer or something like that because I don't drink. But if I believe in something, I'm just living it. It naturally kind of flows out of me. So for marketing is just sharing and expressing my passion about something that I completely believe in. And I just do it with truth. I do it with integrity. I do it with enthusiasm. And that's just how I choose to market. It's just real life. This is who I am.
I love that. And you are one of the best marketers that I've known. So I think before we dive in, I want everyone to just write that down for yourself. What does marketing mean to you? A lot of this is about you. And I'll say this throughout this webcast and this live stream. You are the best marketer. You are your marketing. So it all comes back to what does it mean to you? Because at the end of the day, what something means to you is how it's expressed. So define that tonight on what that is. Now, when we talk about marketing, it's the same thing. We're not calling ourselves marketing experts. I believe everyone that has achieved something, they have some strategy on how they can implement it. So our goal tonight is going to be simple, to help you understand how to actually take the message that you want to share with the world and maximize it. And we talk about sharing and building ZP8. We have a global movement of people wanting to be their best. But before we dive into the 3 strategies, these are 6 things that if someone said to me, okay, before you market, what do you actually need to have?
Right.
First, to me, is you got to understand your audience. And as we flow, Renita and I go back and forth. I'll share some stuff, and then Renita will come in and share her thoughts on it. So you kind of see both sides to everything. But you got to understand your audience. I call it your perfect customer. The reality is this: you will initially relate to people like you. So if you're a mom that has rocked ZP8 and you've dropped maybe 20 pounds or 30 pounds, or maybe you're a dad that built a lot of muscle, most likely you're going to connect with people who is that mom that wants to drop 20 to 30 pounds. People like you. Maybe they have kids, and they're too busy. So you want to understand who's the initial audience. Now, a lot of us want to talk to everybody, but know your initial audience, and then you can expand. Clarify your goals. What are those goals that you want to achieve from the perspective? If you're sharing ZP8, what do you want to achieve with this part of your business, with your brand? How do you want to take that to the next level? Do you want to go global? Do you want to lead a community movement? Do you just want to share some of your friends? Understanding your goals starts defining how you're going to market. And then be inspired. Like when I talk to Renita, she's inspired. And when I go places, I was at the Hunter, had a big soccer weekend. And whenever I go, I'm eating, people coming up because there's an energy, because I'm inspired about what I do and what I believe and what I walk. And then you have to have a story. Renee and I have talked about this many times, and I'll show you the Facebook page. There's videos you can see on coaching we've done in the past on actually how to create your story. Know your call to action and study and utilize your marketing tools. So those are the 6 things that you really want to get clear on before you even dive into the marketing strategies to take your business to the next level. Renita, what's your thoughts on those 6 things and having your teams, because your teams are exploding everywhere. What how do you, what's your thoughts on those 6 things, and how do you teach that to your team before you even start talking marketing strategies?
Well, I love this because it's so true, Mark. I mean, you kind of begin where you are, right? So like if you're a mom, like you said, it's easy to talk to other moms. If you're an athlete, it's easy to talk to other athletes. If you feel like you're, that woman that has gone through hormonal changes and now you've rocked your health and your body, you're usually speaking to that demographic, and you can do that pretty simply because you just kind of tell the truth of where you're at. I think as your business expands, which I've seen mine expand, I kind of understand my audience on various levels. Like, for example, yesterday I did a great event down in Dickinson, North Dakota. We had 20 people, and Cindy Erlocker was down there. She's lost 40. Her husband Marv has lost 55 pounds on Zen Project 8. And just unbelievable. The guy's like got 10 new belt hose in his belt, but their average demographic was people over the age of 40. I would say probably age 50 to 75. So I couldn't go in there and just tell the story about being a mom, because some of these people were grandparents, right? And so it was a whole different level. And I think that once you've been in this a while, it's easier to accommodate who you're speaking to. I can talk about hormones. I can pull in Cindy as the example because she's a woman in her mid 50s. You're using those. Sometimes I feel like it's not just about my story, and you'll see me do this often, Mark. I usually tell other people's stories as well, because if I just told my story, I'll be honest, I've never really had a major weight problem for a short period when I was like 20. But other than that, I really haven't. So for me, I draw on other people's success stories, and I draw on their groups of people as well. So initially you might start just with yourself, and that's your comfort zone. But you'll find as you incorporate more different demographics and age groups into your journey, into your team, you start using their stories, and you start becoming more, knowledgeable in those arenas. Not just in your own comfort zone. So it'll expand naturally, organically. It's not even something that I've really had to go out there and say, okay, I'm going to go in this direction. It's just naturally happened, Mark.
100%. And I love, and when you talk about the results, I want everyone watching to really, individual results always are going to vary.
Right.
And ZP8 is much more than weight loss. That's why we launched this movement. When I met with the founders of Jeunesse, Wendy Lewis, Randy Way, and then Scott Lewis, the whole goal here was to create something that worked for someone. That's why we do PFC every 3. Blood sugar balance, balances your hormone, works for everybody, whatever your goal is. But that's the power of it. What Nita said is speaking to people that you're related to, and then also because so many people live it successfully, you can then expand your overall message. So you want to start with that. And I want to give a couple shout outs because we can now see questions here, Anita. So, we have Valerie Schultz that's on, you have Jerry Ziffer, Amy Weniger, Penny Leong, Don Gray. So remember, everyone, we'll open Kathleen Paredes. So make sure that everyone, you can do some Q&A. Renee and I will answer some questions. So if there's comments you want to share, make sure you put those in. Before we go to the strategy 1, I just want to point to a couple tools here. If I go back to the Facebook group here, and this is our Facebook group, under the pin post, because we don't want anyone, when we talk about marketing, the goal is not for you to become a health expert.
Right.
If you are a health expert already, fantastic. But we have videos, we have blogs that are set up. So you have someone that says, hey, Kathleen, what is that Zen Fuse shake all about? There's an awesome blog right here that you can just share with them. What are the main questions? Can I drink alcohol? Can I, why do I need to cut the foods in the detox phase? We have blogs on why you cut the 10 foods that cause bloating and inflammation. What are the top 15 FAQs? Basically 95% of the questions people ask, you can share that blog. And this is where Renita's been fantastic. So when we start talking about you sharing and marketing, knowing your tools, that's part of before you market, you can leverage those tools to win. So it's just not all on you. Renita, how do you use some of these tools?
In fact, I would say that's crucial to the duplication of your business, Mark. I think that at a certain point in my business, I remember I was answering every phone call, I was answering every question, I had to be the expert on everything. And honestly, I was exhausted because it was like I was not seeing my family. I was constantly in the mix of dealing with people and their problems and their dilemmas and helping them to move through it. And I just tell you what, I just praise the Lord for Mark McDonald, because him coming into the mix, now I simply point and promote. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When people ask me the questions, I usually 99.9% of the time know the answer. But many times I say, well, have you asked Zen Project 8 community yet? Or, I like to actually, hey, have you read that blog? And I'll post the blog where it was on. I try to make myself not the expert, actually. And that only happened when my business was very small and I only had to deal with 2, 3, 5, 7 people, Mark. That was fine for me to be answering those questions, right? Like if you're just dealing with a very small group and you feel like you want to be the expert, well, great, good for you that you have the confidence to do that. But at a certain point when you really start to multiply and you realize that you cannot answer every single person's question in every single country, so you realize that these tools, you've got to know where to point and promote. And when you know that, that's when you can multiply your business and this message truly becomes a global opportunity for you and so many others.
100%. And that's, what you said is spot on. 99% you know the answer. Me too. But I never will answer it. I will point to the tool. So all the webcasts I do, here's the blog. I won't, because you're not maximizing your time. Marketing is duplication. So you have to know, so if you can duplicate, you can exponentially grow. If you can't duplicate, you can't grow. You can only grow as far as you can talk or your time will allow you to. And that's part of it. So everyone, that's for people wanting to know more about Zen. They ask you, what's Zen Shape about? What's Zen Fit? What about Zen Fuse? We have amazing blogs and videos on those products. So leverage that. But then the other thing before we dive into the 3 strategies is the actual business coaching that we do. And that's what we're doing here. So if you're watching, you're on the page you're watching right now, you're streaming it live right now on this page under videos. If you're building or sharing ZPA, right here, you can simply watch. We're live right now, the 3 top marketing strategies for your Zen business. But then setting your schedule, the purpose, how to overcome objections. This is when we were doing, so these are all videos that as you're building and sharing Zen, on the Facebook page, you can reference this. So you use the group and the blog series and the videos in there and the YouTube channel to share when people want to know more about products and about the program. So you don't have to share everything. You don't have to be the expert. But then if you want to learn how to build it, as you're building a team, that's why Renee and I do these weekly sessions. And I want to give a shout out because Renita talked about me, but let's give a big shout out to the Jeunesse marketing social media platform because they make it all happen. We can create content, we can share the information, but just the movement along to help you share and build GPA and also how to actually live and rock the program. You're set up to win with that. And that was all important to share before we dive into the marketing strategy, because knowing that you have that in your wheelhouse, it allows you to exponentially grow globally.
And Mark, it's funny because I remember when I went from being like, I can do it all myself. I want to be the expert. I want to be the person who knows it all. I remember when I was that person and I actually loved being that person. Like, it's not like I was like, oh, this sucks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that I get to bless this many people. But then all of a sudden it was just like that point of, okay, this is way beyond me. There's not enough hours in the day to answer all these questions and weigh and measure all these people and do all of this myself. Like, I need help. And when I realized that, you know what, let's just go to the guru himself and point to him, point to the social media help, point to, like you said, the amazing stuff, that content that Jeunesse Corporate puts out. If you're not sharing those great videos from your J-Mobile app, you are missing out. I mean, that just explains the entire Zen Project 8 in a nutshell. Let Mark tell them. We're over talking. Push play. You know what I mean? So I love sending that out. So I do agree. Not only you, Mark, but the Jeunesse corporate team has done so much to help us grow and continue to grow and duplicate this. So hopefully all of you move from that point of where you're like, I want to be the know-it-all for everybody, to say, you know what, I'm ready to duplicate big time and I want to know where to point and promote.
100 point and promote. I love that. So now you're ready to learn the 3 strategies. So I hope that was the big buildup, that these are all the things you need to do before the 3 strategies. But when we get to strategy 1, this is connect with your contacts and create your tribe. And what my take on this, and then Renita, I want to hear your take on it, is I think we make marketing very complicated. I think we try to do way too much. At the end of the day, it's just about relationships. Regardless if it's video, if it's platforms. When I look at all the Facebook Lives and I see Cal Vick on and Kathleen Paredes and Sherry McCann, it's all relationships. Don Grace, it's a relationship. business, from this side, whatever business you're doing, but especially when you're talking about connecting with people and sharing a message. So I love your contacts, but I want you to write down this word, your tribe. We hear it a lot. And your tribe is the community. When I go to that Zen Project 8 community, we're all part of that tribe. You know, when I'm going to go to Amsterdam in 4 days and we launch Zen Project 8 and at the Jeunesse massive convention, the European launch of Envy as well, I'm part of the Jeunesse tribe. There's a tribe, you know, it's a massive European Jeunesse tribe. When we go to Chile, there's a Chile tribe, but it's all one Jeunesse tribe, but then there's parts of that. So Zen, you're in a tribe. In your community, you have your tribe. So this is what I want you to think about and ask. Who do you know who wants what you're experiencing? It's that simple. Who do you know that actually wants to feel? So if you had your own story and you have this amazing story and you feel fantastic, you know, we featured a blog of Kathleen and Byron Paredes from not Cypress, I forget the part of there's not Houston, Texas, but it's like a suburb of Houston, Texas. And it started with Kathleen and Brian. But now they have a tribe that's over 300 plus strong of people rocking it with them. So, but they focused on people who do they know that wants what they're experiencing? And then instead of focusing on who doesn't want to take action, focus on who's ready to take action. And that leads right into never convince, simply lead. Renee and I talked about this before. I don't try to convince anyone of anything. If someone wants to do something, I'm from the point of connecting with my contacts and creating my tribe. I'm going to drive that. I'm going to do those 6 things that we shared before. And then I'm going to focus on, I'm going to make a list of who do I know that wants what I'm experiencing? Who do I think is ready to take action? Who do I feel I can lead and not have to convince? And then I start with at least 2. So as you're going through this process, write it all down, write down the names. And if you only have 2, start with 2. If you only have 1, start with 1. If you have more, start there. And now you're starting to get your tribe. Renita, talk to me about when you first started and it was just you and Scott. How did you go about this? How did you get smart on how to start building your tribe? Because what you've done throughout North Dakota has been incredible. But I know it all started with you and Scott.
Yeah, I think that we just really were authentic in living the plan, and we're parents that are busy parents, and we didn't always get it right, but we wanted to get it right, and we were pretty vocal about that. And I think that most people, they don't know where to begin, right? And so they saw that, we're out there, we're actually changing our lives. We want our kids to be nourished and eat well because they're athletes. We don't want to be just giving them everything like everyone else. We want it to be different. And I think that vibe does attract your tribe. You're right, Mark. And so people start to be attracted to that. And it didn't hurt when our son started winning national titles. That never hurts. I'm just going to...
leverage both, leverage your kids.
Leveraging all my boys. I'm like, we should just brand them. Like, can we wrap them? Anyway, the bottom line is, and also I think when people see that you're fired up about something, because most people are pretty complacent, they're pretty dead, they're pretty asleep at the wheel. Let's just say it, a lot of people are depressed. They don't know how to get out of what they're in, that rat race. And so I feel like when you come at somebody with a little enthusiasm, a little excitement, they say, oh my gosh, I want your energy. And I'm like, you can have it. This is how. And so I love that. But I agree, when you have on there, don't convince. I think so many people, even on my team, and sometimes I find myself doing it and I'm thinking, Renita, what are you doing? You're wasting your mouth. Because the reality is, if you have to nag, beg, or drag someone to do this program, they're simply not ready. And if you have to nag, beg, or drag them now, you will be nag, begging, and dragging them the whole time. And when they don't have success because they've kind of been halfway in it, because they really weren't ready, then they'll say, well, that program didn't work. And so I told Mark earlier, I said, I'd rather take 10 people that are absolutely concretely ready, saying, I'm ready to financially commit, I'm ready to time commit, I'm ready to mentally commit, I want different. Teach me. Coachability for me is like number 1. And if you're not coachable and you're not willing to invest in yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, all those things that it's going to take, then I don't even want to work with you yet. I'm like, you're not quite ready. You know what I mean? And so, because I have had probably too many experiences where I've been dragging and nagging, and their entire success was dependent upon me. And at a certain point, that's very exhausting. If you have one of those people, that's very exhausting to you. And if they don't have the success that they're looking for, because like I said, maybe they weren't all in mentally yet, it's frustrating. They say it doesn't work. You begin to believe that it doesn't work. Whereas if you get 5, 6, 7, 2 people, like Mark said, the number 2, if you get 2 people that are ready. And those people are like, teach me, coach me, tell me, guide me. But not in a needy kind of way. They're just ready to learn. It's like catch. You throw them the ball, they catch the ball, they throw it back. Those are the people that are diamonds in this thing. They will have great success. They will change their lives, their families' lives, and ultimately they'll duplicate if they want to grow a business.
100%. Love it. So that's your first strategy. Keep it simple and connect with your contacts and keep thinking about tribe and focus on positive energy. People that want to take your energy, move on. Yes. Focus on that. That's the number one strategy I can share with you. It's how I live my life. It's how I'm not attached to stuff, and I focus on that. Now, the second strategy is share your message with social media. Now, this is one thing that I think, it's funny because I remember when I started coaching people, I was talking to someone at a soccer field yesterday, and I play with him, and he's young. He was born in 1990. That's when I graduated high school. I'm 44, so there wasn't an internet when I started business. Right. So when you think about social media, I can't always be 100% on social media. I need balance for myself, so I choose with that. So this is how my feedback. There are social media gurus. My goal when I keep thinking about a message is connecting, keeping it authentic, keeping it real. But I like posting with a purpose. And I think you need to choose platforms that hit your audience. I'm a 44-year-old male. My wife, Abby's 43. She's 44. I'm almost 45. She's 44. We have a 12-year-old son. We have a 2-year-old baby. We have 2 dogs. It's a different life than when I was in my 20s. Right. So Facebook as streaming here, is a massive platform for people like me. I'm not as much. I have a Twitter, Instagram, of course. But Instagram a lot of times could be a younger audience. So you have to choose your platforms and post with a purpose. Now, when I mean post with a purpose, I mean you bring value to every post. If you ever look at what I do on social media, there's a beginning, middle, and end on a post. Sometimes you can just be free and say, hey, beautiful outside. But I would say it's beautiful outside. Look at this picture. When are you going to have your next special moment? I would always have something that brings value to the post. So I think posting on social media should create value to that person. And I always ask myself, does it honor me? Does it honor them? And that would be questions I'd ask that you would want, that I would suggest you would do when you leverage social media. So understand the platform that you feel hits the audience that you're targeting most, that you're speaking to. Make sure that you're honoring you and the person. What value is it bringing in my life and the person that's following me or is going to partake in this? And then provide a suggested action. Like tonight, we're going to have an action item for you on using these 3 strategies. If it's as simple as that you made a scrumptious shake. You said, hey, I made this amazing Zen shake and I put some cinnamon in it. I invite everyone right now, you post a picture of it and you say, can everyone tell me one thing that they love putting in their Zen shake, and do it today or do it tomorrow. So there's an action or objective that makes it an interactive experience. So it actually is social media. And then I love creating themes. Whether it's a Meal Monday, a Transformation Tuesday, with Headline News, we do Transformation Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Recipe Thursday. It doesn't always have to be the same letter, Shake Saturday, but finding fun things that you can be consistent at. Because social media, once you go through your tribe, the way you can build and you're clear on your audience, the way you can maximize your tribe is to reach out with social media and actually bring value to everyone like you that you're talking to's lives. Renita, how do you share your message with social media?
Well, I love that, Mark. And I many years ago I read a book, and it's like, if you're not adding value to people's lives, what are you doing on social media? Like, are you just talking about, your allergies again? The bottom line is you, right? And unless you're asking for help and saying, what can I do, right? But I always think, I once read this thing, Mark. It said that 90% of people are watching. Or maybe it was 92% of people are watching. They want something that you're giving, and only 8% of the people are willing to go live and give the content. And I always think, I'm the content giver. I love to talk. I've got something to say. There's a reason I've been through hell and back with my health and my family's health and my life. And that really is to give nuggets and tidbits and value to other people. So, I always think the struggles that I've been through, many people don't have to go through them, because let me help you. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like I'm one of those 8%ers. When I read that 92% of people are just receiving, they're just sitting there like this watching. And I always say in social media, what I do is I'm a look this way person. I want people looking at what I'm doing because it's right. I don't want them looking at everything else that's out there in the marketplace with weight loss, because many times it's wrong. It's inaccurate. It's going to lead people to failure and depression and shame and guilt again, right? So I am a person that's very vocal about look this way. I want to tell you an exciting message. I want to deliver it with sincerity, but it's truth. You're going to need to hear it. And so for me, I mean, that's just kind of my message. I'm a truth teller. Sometimes it's the hard truth, but people really, I think people genuinely appreciate it.
But that's your tribe. So this is what I love. Renita's example right there. She knows her tribe, and she's been relentless and fearless in speaking her message. So it's not about making everyone happy. You know, it's always fun. Abby would tell me years ago, my wife, Abby, would say, people either love you, Mark, or they don't like you. Right. And that's kind of like how it is with me. And Mark, you're the hugger. But, you know, I'm direct as well. I love people. I love everybody that wants to make a difference in their life. And you know that. If you're part of the tribe that I'm part of, then you know that. But not everyone wants that. So you can't focus on that. So because you have this following, you focus on your tribe. And this is part of, if you ever follow Renita and you look at her marketing, that's what she does. And that's what I love about that, because you do the share your message with social media so well. And like, if I go back to slide 1, you connect with your contacts and you started creating your tribe. You then share with your message with social media. But this is what I've seen. This is strategy 3, everyone. You develop your skill set. I want everyone to realize and rate yourself right now. And you can do it in our comments right here. You can simply say, what are you? You know, rate yourself on your skill set as a leader, as a content provider. 1 through 10, be honest with yourself. 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Now, I remember like 6 years ago, I would have rated myself high, but looking back, I wasn't as high. Right. So you got to, but where you are, rate yourself. And then this is what I want you to share. And leveraging Renita and seeing her growth over the years has been incredible. You know, she wrote, you know, she just launched a best-selling book. I love that. Like, I love how she's grown and grown. So you are your best marketing tool. That's what I want everyone to realize. It's you. It all starts with you. And then I suggest this. When I first did my first Zoom, I still get nervous. Like, we're doing this Facebook Live. I'm nervous. Like, before we're doing it, I got the butterflies. And I've done thousands of videos. But you need to practice your videos. You need to improve your writing. You need to fine-tune your communication, and you need to get creative with your photos. Use them all to share your story and message. Now, you might say, Mark, I just want to share a ZPA with a couple people. Well, then that's why I said in the beginning, what are your goals? You still can improve. But if you say that you want to build a global business, if you say you want to touch thousands of people's lives and lead a movement and be part of something. Now, if you want to share with some family and friends, I still suggest you do all of this, because I think it will become contagious to you. But based on your goals means the more work you have to do. When I went on Dr. Oz for the first time, Renita, I've shared this with you. You know, I literally had to practice like 30 hours before that video. When I do CNN, it's like 10 hours of prep work. So it's not like these are 3-minute national segments. There's a lot of work. Like just this Facebook Live that we're doing, about 4 hours of prep work to make sure that it's bringing value to everyone watching and winning. And then as your confidence grows, you expand your marketing strategies to build your tribe and take your brand and business international, because that's the key. So Zen Project 8, to me, the partnership with Jeunesse, what Jeunesse Global brings is an amazing outreach platform that allows us all to live something special and share a message that starts with your friends, starts with your family, starts with your community, it leads throughout your state, leads throughout the country, and then leads internationally. So Renita, for you, where you started and where you are now, how have you developed your skill set?
Boy, Mark, I just think to myself, I'm not where I need to be, but I'm moving in the right direction. And I just have a couple of things to say about that. I think some people on the previous slide, strategy 2, we spend too much time on the people that are, like you said, some of your audience doesn't like you at all, and they're commenting and you're actually replying. Do you know what I do? If there's a hater that just hates me and hates my contact, block is an excellent button on Facebook. It is so empowering for me to block somebody. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with the devil, because the bottom line is this person is not going to be convinced. They don't like my content. They don't like what I'm saying. And I just don't need it because there's enough people in the world that want the help, you guys. They want the help. So I think be careful spending too much time on the negatives, the naysayers that you're having to respond and you find yourself rebuttaling with on social media. In fact, I have some people come to me and say, Renita, could you go to my Facebook page and fight back for me? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Block that person. That is way too much energy expended there.
One more thing on that, Renita. That's why I did that video on exposing ketogenic diets and intermittent fasting. Like, it's not to knock other things. Share a video. Like, if someone says that, share that video. That's why we write these blogs. And Renita, before you said it, I love the feedback coming. Someone says, I'm under construction, not yet rated, but have a plan in place. When they're rated, I love that. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to share that.
No, that's great. And I mean, and as we move forward, Mark, you're asking me where I'm going and how I've improved. I've definitely improved. I once read an article that said, these are when you should post something or when you should say something. If someone asks if they're paying you to do it, or if it's a life or death situation. And so sometimes I think I kind of use that as my filter, like, is it life or death that I say this? And sometimes I feel like with obesity and with the chronic dieting, sometimes it is life or death, you guys. Sometimes I feel like the true message does need to be revealed in a gentle, kind, but truthful way, right? And so it's not always just avoiding the hard conversations, but it is, it's asking yourself, if I put this out there, is this going to add value to someone's life? That's always the first question I ask. The second thing is, I don't want to be super offensive to people. Like, that's not my goal, is to be just offending somebody all the time. But I'm going to tell you, if somebody's on the wrong track, when you come forth with the truth, sometimes it does rub them the wrong way a little bit. Just like the ketogenic diet thing, Mark. I mean, do you know how many times a day we deal with that? I mean, right? Everybody's saying, oh, this is what we should be doing. This is what we should be doing. But like you said, I mean, just like me, when we were living like that, when you were living like that, you feel miserable.
Mm-hmm.
You feel miserable. And again, the bottom line is would you feed that to your children? And most of these people that are doing the ketogenic diet are not feeding their kids that way. Gee, I wonder why. Because their kids would just be like bear cats. And so the bottom line is it's truth be told in I think in an eloquent way that doesn't offend people. But yet tells the truth in some tough love. Sometimes we need tough love. I think I have a long way to go and grow with it all. I'm not done. I follow your lead. Sometimes you've told me, because, I got a little political there for a while. And
politics.
I got a little political. And Mark said to me, he took me kind of by the hand as my friend. And he said to me, Renita, do you want to fight politics or do you want to fight obesity? And I was like, I want to fight obesity, Mark. And so he's like, choose that and be careful on social media. Remember when you gave me that advice?
Yes, I do.
So I kind of had to hone it in a little bit because I was getting a little mouthy, which is easy for me. And so anyway, the bottom line is I really do want to truly fight obesity. I do want to help to solve, this crazy pandemic that we're under of obesity and ill health. I mean, that's where I feel like I'm being called. So do I want that more than I want to fight about politics? Absolutely. And so I might need to filter a little bit more during the political realm and get my laser. You just have to have good people in your corner like Mark McDonald's or a good tribe that says, is that really necessary? And are we really, achieving our goal that we're looking to achieve here?
100%. Love that. And that's probably the best advice is I love what you said. Is it life or death or someone paying you? So like when I talk about life or death, it's like, that's how I feel when I do a video. It's like a burning desire inside of me to get the information out. And that's why I do it. I don't do social media to get more followers. I don't try to do things to do that. And there's nothing, if that's your goal, that's how you build a brand, go for it. But to me, people will follow authenticity. So if you speak the message, so let's recap, and then I'm going to give you some action items and we'll wrap with Renita's final thoughts here. So remember, before, if you look at your screen here, before, you got to understand your audience, clarify your goals, be inspired, have a story, know your call to action, study and utilize your marketing tools. If you missed that, on this Facebook page, go to videos. You'll see some of the coaching. Join the Zen Project 8 Facebook.com/group/Zen Project 8 and understand all the tools. Read the blogs, watch the videos. Strategy 1, connect with your contacts and start creating your tribe. And start with at least 2 people. Focus on people you want to lead, not convince. Strategy 2, share your message with social media. Find your platform and get clear and bring value to everything you share and have themes. Sometimes it's a photo, sometimes it's a Facebook Live, sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's a blog, sometimes it's a quote. get creative. What's inside of you? I always look at my social media as things that I'm living with right there that I want to share, that I feel I find something cool at Costco. Everyone should get this. I look at something I do with Hunter. I did a battle rope. I bought a battle rope and I showed that. So it's finding things that bring value to people's lives to live healthier lives. And then develop your skill set. You are your best marketing tool. So your action items for this week is simple. I want you to lay it out on a piece of paper, rate yourself, and if you're still under construction, just put under construction and choose when you're going to rate yourself, and then start looking at how can you improve strategy 1, strategy 2, and strategy 3. How can you take action on 3 items of each strategy? How can you improve? So skill set. What are 3 things you can do immediately to do that? What are 3 things you can do to improve your social media presence? And what are 3 things you can do that's going to allow you to connect with your contacts and start creating and leading your tribe? And part of that might be moving away from some people that are bringing some negative energy. This is your moment every single week to become the leader you want to be, to take your business, your message, your brand to a whole nother level. And that's why we do these webcasts. So seize the moment. We got another great one a week from now. This is our new platform. Get ready because it's only getting better. I'm going to have Renita finish up, and then I'll see if there's any questions, and we'll call it a night. Renita, finish this up.
Yeah, I just have a final thought. Before Mark and I got on this, he said he's doing a lot of traveling. He's going to all these markets. I mean, literally from one country to, he's jumping continents here.
5 continents. We're doing 5 continents in 7 weeks.
And he was saying, oh my gosh, I got all this traveling. And I'm thinking to myself, this is part of what we prayed for. This is part of what we wanted. This is part of what our expectation when we had the vision for what was going to happen with the Zen Project 8 and the PFC every 3. And I'm going through a little shifting myself with all of this right now because I've decided I've spent a lot of time on weighing and measuring people. And I said, Scott, my husband, I said, I'm going through a transition where I want to really focus on my business builders in Australia, in Arizona, and I want to move away from weighing and measuring so many people a week. And I said, I literally need to put a system in place. I don't just say, okay, I'm done doing that. I have a system in place where I'm like, okay, I shot a video about how to weigh and measure. So when somebody says to me, Renita, can weigh and measure me? I simply say, you know what? It'd be great for you to weigh and measure yourself, or have a friend do it that's doing the program with you, or a spouse do it. Here's the video how. And I now give them a tool. A little tool. I didn't just leave them high and dry. I give them a little tool about how to do it. But part of this is when you start to grow your business exponentially, as it will happen, but you've got to have a system in place. You've got to have a plan in place. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm just going to start going global. Like now that I can kind of feel this happening, I'm like, I need to get some systems in place because I'm about to exit from one area that I've kind of been, it's really my sweet spot, my comfort zone for a very long time. I'm moving into a different realm where I'm leading the leaders, right? Mm-hmm. And so I need to have some a transition period and some systems in place, whether it's videos, correspondence, of how I'm doing that. And so I prayed for that though. So I'm not condemning it. I'm not saying, oh God, this is so hard. Because some people, I hear them say, I don't have any time to do this. I'm like, well, how do you expect to help more people and grow a bigger team if you're already complaining about the 4 people you're working with? You know what I mean? So you got to get a handle on it. So again, we're blessed to be a blessing, you guys. We're blessed to know this stuff. The world doesn't know it. We are so powerful together as a group and as a community to get out and literally change the course of not only the obesity epidemic in America, but on so many continents that are dealing with similar problems that we're having in America. So we are blessed to be a blessing. Encourage it, welcome it, but be prepared for growth because it's going to happen.
Love it. And if you're watching this and you have people that are leading ZPA with you and sharing it, share this. We're on Facebook now. This is right on the Facebook page, so you can share with everyone that you want to see it and experience it. And remember, Jeunesse Global is massive. They are everywhere. So we're talking so many countries. So Zen Project 8 and what we're doing with Zen under the Jeunesse Global brand and community, it's only getting started. Everyone, thank you so much for being, let's see if
Questions?
Yeah, if there's any questions here. Mark Regan, what's up? So do we have any questions? I'm on the page right now. Let me see if we have any questions here.
Mark, you're so high tech.
Sometimes I feel like, what am I doing?
No.
So let me see if anything has come in here.
I'm going to get
I want to thank everyone for jumping on our, this is our new platform here. we've had like over in our 45 minutes, there's like 500 views already, Renita. So it's great. I love our community, and that is what matters most on all of this.
Right.
And remember, if you're in Europe, get ready. Massive Genetics Convention, European launch of Zen Project 8 and Envy. It's a double launch day. So, double launch day.
I've been actually thinking about, Mark, speaking of Envy, I'm just going to tell you, I love the Envy, and I never thought I could love makeup. That's why I'm kind of having this like shifting. I'm like, my business is really changing. I'm still super passionate about weight loss. I mean, it's like my forte, right? So I decided I'm going to start having ZP and Envy parties.
I love it. That's it. So many people are doing Zen Envy parties.
Yeah.
100%. So ZP and Envy, because it goes hand in hand. So that's great. So I don't see questions. So everyone, we have one. So one question for you, Renita. What does Renita think will be her biggest challenge in leading the leaders?
You know what? Temperaments. Everyone's temperament is a little bit different, but I think, to give grace to people, to give grace to yourself, even as a leader sometimes. We don't have it all figured out. Mark doesn't have it all figured out, although sometimes I think he thinks he looks like he does.
No, I don't. I never think that. I may look it, but I don't think that.
I think looking at you do, but then, you get behind the scenes, you're like, okay, we're still working out the quirks. I think, be gentle with yourself, but stern in the sense that you want to continue to grow with those leaders that you're working with. Many of these people, this is the very first time they've ever done a network marketing business, especially for me, because I grow so organically with Zen Project 8. Many times I'm not bringing over a professional network marketer. I'm actually bringing over someone who just fell in love with Zen Project 8, had great results, and has shared it with 25 people and is now growing a business, right? So I feel like teaching them from scratch, making sure they know where the resources are to get the education and the support and the wisdom that they need to grow adequately. And just patience, be patient with them. I've always had a motto, walk with the walkers, jog with the joggers, and run with the runners. And, some people want to do this journey, and building a business is very slowly. They're walkers. That's okay, right? And some people want to jog with it, and some people are sprinters. I like sprinting, actually. So for me, I love sprinting with those people. But be patient and just kind of meet them where they're at and love them where they're at and grow with them. Grow as a team. So it's awesome.
I love that. And Mark, my feedback on those two things, leading a lot of leaders throughout the years, is for you to probably lead someone, you have to have accomplished where you're leading them. It's massive. So you have actually led by example, and actually have felt it, and then you help them. And then the second thing, this is probably the best advice I can ever give you for everyone watching, that when you start leading people, never expect them to be you. Right. I made that mistake years ago. And the reality is that I'm my own person. So you don't want to lead people thinking they're going to do what you're going to do. You have to, as Renita said, speak to them where they are, and then get clear on their goals and their actions, and then lead them from that perspective. And
remember, you're never losing with those leaders. You either win or you learn. There's never lose in this thing. I mean, if you do something wrong as a leader, well, I guess you've learned a valuable lesson. And sometimes I actually say to my leaders, like I just had a gal that someone accidentally went signed up at somebody else's website as a customer, and it was like a week later, and she was catching it, and it's you can't get the money back then. It's hard to do. And I said, well, what did we learn? We learned that we need to be very concrete about when we're directing traffic to sign up with us. Because I always tell people, if you're not sponsored by me, I can't lead you and I can't help you and support you. That's not what I can do. So you have to go to my website and sign up. If you buy this stuff elsewhere, I'm sorry, I can't be of support to you. And so I've gotten very concrete with that over the years. But I said to this gal, I said, yeah, you lost out on whatever, $50, but you know what? You didn't lose, you learned. You learn that you're going to be very concrete next time. So that's that.
Love it. Okay. So everyone, thank you for being part of our first live stream on our ZP8 Facebook page. The growth just continues. Ask all questions on this. We'll keep doing this. Cameron Hall. What's up, Cameron Hall? I love all the feedback. I love the people who made the time. Share this with someone. And if you missed the 9 p.m. Facebook Live on how to eat in restaurants, make sure you watch that in the ZP8 group. Just the beginning. Our movement gets stronger by the day. Renita, thanks again as always.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.